I'll be doing one of my last parts of the NFL mock draft. Today, I'll be going through picks 21 through 24. So let's get right into it. So for the pick number 21, it is the Miami Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins have a really good team. I mean, they got Tua, they got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, but yeah, they got like great players. But one kind of key position there they need help with is like the defensive line. I mean, they just lost Christian Wilkins, and their D line is kind of Jalen Phillips, and that's really the only main defensive lineman. One of like the only main good defensive linemen. I mean, they got Jalen Phillips. They also got Jonathan Harris, Benito Jones, and Zach Sider. But I think that core of guys in the defensive front could definitely use a lot more help. So that's why for the 21st overall pick, I have the Miami Dolphins taking defensive end Chop Robinson coming out of Penn State. Last year he had 15 tackles, which it's not a lot to be honest, but like he's like there's not a lot of tackles, but like he's still a good player. I mean, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. Um, like I said, he doesn't really do like he doesn't put up the big numbers, but he does a little thing, and he's a big dude too. He's 6'3", 250 pounds. I think it would definitely help in the system of Miami Dolphins. I mean, he's a big guy, and it would definitely help. Not like replace Christian Wilkins, but like it's a pretty big hole. It's a big need for the Dolphins' defensive line. I mean, they already have a spectacular team. Um, they already have a spectacular team with, like guys I said before, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Tua Tagovailoa, like all these guys. So, a good fit. Top Robinson it would definitely help that defensive front because I don't. It's not one of the. It's not good. It's not really that good right now. I mean, that's why I'm saying Chop Robinson's a great piece to add to it, and you can develop him over time. To like he's a good, reliable player too. So that's why I think that Chop Robinson's the best pick to come, like the best available pick for the Miami Dolphins. Next, we got the Philadelphia Eagles, pick 22. And this is like kind of a hard one, really, because there's so many players. All right, they have such a great team. I mean, all around they have one of the best teams in the NFL. I mean, Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, who they just got extension. Dallas Goddard, Jordan Mailata, Cam Jurgens, Lane Johnson, Landon Dickerson. And that's only the offense. Defense got Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Bryce Huff, Kobe Dean, Devin White, Nolan Smith, James Bradbury, CJ Gardner Johnson, Reed Blankenship, and Darius Slay. Like a lot. They just have everybody, really, it feels like. Even Josh Sweat, who's a backup, like that's how good this team is, and Brandon Graham, who's a third string. Um, so, as looking at that team, I think just the best need, really. It's hard to tell, but maybe the best need is Cooper DeJean from Iowa. I mean, cornerback is kind of like the best thing because like guys like Gary Slay and even the safeties too, Gardner Johnson, James Bradbury, they're all getting older. So that's why I think a guy like Cooper DeJean, I'm probably butchering his name right there. But the cornerback from Iowa, I think he's the best kind of pick here for the Eagles. I mean, last year he had 41 total tackles In 2022, he had 75 total tackles, so he's a really good tackling machine. He also had 2 interceptions last year, and he had 5 interceptions the year before that. So this kid can definitely play. I mean, he does the things you need to win: tackle, interceptions, turnovers. And he's 6'1" too, 6'1", 207 pounds. So he's on the bigger side end for a cornerback. And he's coming off a good team with the Iowa Hawkeyes. So um, he's a really good player. And it was kind of hard because I mean the Eagles have such a great team that like you might as well just go whatever there is left at this point. I mean, except receiver because they don't really need a receiver in my opinion. Because they already got AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, all these guys. So I don't think they need a receiver, but I definitely think that for the 22nd overall pick, the Eagles select Cooper DeJean. Next, we got the Minnesota Vikings. Earlier, a couple episodes ago, I had them pick JJ McCarthy. And that's so since they got their quarterback of the future, now we're looking on building around JJ McCarthy. Now, what's another like think about another need for the Minnesota Vikings. I think it's offensive tackle. I mean, they have Christian Darrisaw, but they also have Brian O'Neill. But they're which yeah, I mean I love Christian Darrisaw. I'm a big fan of his. He's great. But there's also like there's another offensive tackle that can definitely help help on the other side, and that's Tyler Guyton from Oklahoma. He's such a good tackle, and he's great being available here for the Vikings. Like I would have picked a receiver, but I don't like. I think offensive tackle is more of a need because I mean, if they get JJ McCarthy, his receivers are Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. So I don't think they need a receiver that much. Like maybe in the second round, grab a receiver. But right now, Tyler Guyton would definitely fit because they kind of need another offensive tackle in my opinion. To like another one to pair along with Christian Darrisaw. I mean, Tyler Guyton is coming from a great school of Oklahoma. Um, and, I mean, it's just one of the biggest needs, especially because if they're going to draft JJ McCarthy, you're going to have to want to protect him a lot. So, I'm a big fan of Tyler Guyton. I wish that he kind of dropped to the Giants, in my opinion, as a Giants fan, because he's just that good of a tackle. I mean, he's he's a great player. So I think that the Minnesota Vikings at the number 22 overall pick or 23 overall pick. That's what I think the Vikings will select. Tyler Guyton, offensive tackle from Oklahoma. And lastly, another good team. We're getting down to these fine teams here. Now we got the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, they always have a great draft. They always have a good team. Um, but it's hard now because so many players are on contract years here. Like CeeDee Lamb's gotta get paid soon. Micah Parsons gotta get paid soon. But it's a big, there's a lot here that can definitely be worked on. But I think it's just best player available in my opinion. And the best player available here in this situation is Brian Thomas Jr., the wide receiver from LSU. And I also think it'll work out because I mean if they're unable to pay CeeDee Lamb then they're gonna need a receiver. And also, I mean, Brandon Cooks is getting older, and then they just got Jalen Tolbert. So now I think Brian Thomas is a good fit. LSU's always has great wide receivers, whether it was Jarvis Landry, prime Jarvis Landry, I want to say, because he's definitely fallen a lot. Same thing with Odell Beckham Jr., but they also have guys like Jamar Chase, I think, went there, and Justin Jefferson, I also think. Last year, Brian Thomas had 68 receptions, 1,177 yards, and 17 touchdowns. He's a junior coming out of college. He's 6'4", 205. Yeah, he's a great, reliable wide receiver. So I definitely, if he comes to Dallas, it would be a great fit. I mean, he had a breakout year touchdowns wise because he went from having 5 touchdowns in 2022 to 17 in 2023. So that would be a good fit in my opinion. With the Dallas Cowboys, I think he would start as a wide receiver 3 behind Brandon Cooks and CeeDee Lamb, but he can definitely get himself up in the rankings. So that's all I got for today. We're very close to the NFL draft, just 8 days away from the NFL draft. We got 8 days and also 8 picks left for the mock draft. So yeah, the last day for our mock draft, it's Monday. So stay tuned. If your team's left in the draft, yeah, stay tuned. Listen to future episodes to see who I think your team will pick. Um, it's a very exciting time for NFL fans because we're kind of getting back into festivities here with the NFL draft. I mean, free agency kind of died down. I mean, J.K. Dobbins did sign with the Chargers today. A little break. Well, not a little breaking news, but it happened a couple hours ago. But yeah, that's all. That's what I got for today. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you.